Hi, my name's Heather Gandy. I chose for my English project to do the history of a war. I chose Desert Storm because I could interview my dad on that. My dad was in Desert Storm and I have an interview after my little part of him explaining his lifestyle in Desert Storm and where he was. But I'm making this video after I interviewed him because I started crying while he was being interviewed because my dad he can take one question and just go off of it. I didn't really have the chance to ask him any questions. There were no breaks in there to ask him anything because he mainly covered all the questions I had by answering just by starting off with his name and just going on with it. I did start crying because I didn't know what happened in Desert Storm. My dad made me realize a lot of stuff that I didn't know was gonna happen or has happened. He made me realize that I could be living one place and the next day I can get a slip from my officer saying that I need to pack everything up and that I'm being moved to Saudi Arabia or to Iraq and I'm going to be there to fight for my country. My dad does explain my grandpa in Vietnam and my uncle in Vietnam and my great-grandpa in World War II, but my dad did not explain my brother's situation. My brother is 22. He has been in the Air Force training to be a medic. He went off to basic training the first day that I had school in 8th grade. He has been there since. I've only seen him a couple of times since. It's not much different because growing up I did not see my brother a lot because of the kind of kid he was. He got moved out here for his last year of schooling. Then, only being out here for 3 months, he then got sent to basic. And it sort of scared me that my brother was going through that because I have not been around anybody who has, been enlisted already or been in basic or going into basic. As the years gotten closer, I have known a couple people and learned that a couple of my friends are going to be going into basic next year or the year after that. My brother went into the Air Force thinking that he was going to be a medic. He wanted to be a medic for anything. He just wanted to help people. He had to choose what military group he wanted to be in. He wanted to be a Marine, but a Marine did not offer medicine and all that, and that course that he could take. He decided everything against being in the Air Force. But he ended up in the Air Force because he knew it was the best for him. My brother is now in the medicine field. He is a certified nurse and is certified EMT. He's 22 and I still don't see him that often. And in a couple weeks, he is going to be moved overseas to Qatar. Not a lot of people know where that is, but it's one of the richest countries. It's in Saudi Arabia. Even though it is not a battle zone or a war zone, it still scares me. I am going to miss my brother. My brother I looked up to a lot. And like anybody in your family, if you lose them, I feel like I'm losing my brother. He's only going to be gone for 3 to 4 months, but I still don't know if he's coming back, and it scares me. But I'm I'm trusting that he'll be okay. They'll give him shelter. There's not a lot of sights to see around there because he says that the sky's gonna look the same color as the ground and all that, so it's gonna be like dust everywhere, like Desert Strorm was. I mean, he never thought he was gonna be delivering babies over in Qatar, but that's where they're sending him. I'm also not losing, but because I am very grateful to have had this person in my life. But my swim coach, Daryl Halsey, is also in the a military force. He is in the Coast Guard, and he is a person that I like to look up to. He does a lot of stuff with giving out paychecks to families and all that, and that for people who are in the military to know that somebody capable of knowing what they're doing is giving them money, I'm really glad that he knows how to do that. But I didn't know that the Air Force or any military group or the Coast Guard could just tell you one day to pick up your stuff and you're moving to some other place. But my coach Daryl is leaving, and this summer he told us that this summer, right once he gets the chance, they're going to move him to Alaska. So him and his wife are going to have their baby down there. It really scares me because he told me that he would be home a lot, but he wouldn't get to coach a swim team down there because he would be out at sea maybe 2 times a week, some number of days a month. And all these people in my life that I've been around have sculpted what I want my life to be. I have not decided between being in the Air Force or being in the Coast Guard, but I am really glad to know people in these different groups. I started off wanting to be a Marine. I know a guy named Gunner who used to be the T-High coach for the boys, and he's like my second dad. If I had any question, I knew he could answer about it. He's given me a lot of knowledge about war that I did not know, and some things that scared me about it, but made me realize that maybe I don't want to be in that part of the military. But these men in my life have been a great inspiration on who I want to be, and have helped me figure out who I want to be and put me on the track towards that. I sort of want to give a thank you to them because they have helped me a lot, and I love every one of them. They are a big inspiration, and this project has actually done more for me because I thought it was just going to be an English project. I wasn't going to think much of it, but just interviewing my dad and hearing about all that he's going to go talk to you guys about and everything through his interview, it made this project a little more to me. It helped me realize more about what I want to do when I grow up. It brought up a lot of old memories, and I hope you guys see what Desert Storm was like back then, and how war is a little bit different, but it's sort of the same. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Tracy Glenn Gandy. I was a specialist in the United States Army. I was deployed for the first Gulf War Operation Desert Storm. My role in the event was I was a radio communications repair person. I went with a air defense artillery unit. We deployed in January of 1990. We arrived in Saudi Arabia, got our equipment, we took it across the desert, staged. When the ground offensive started, we rolled through the desert into Iraq and helped push the Iraqi army out of Kuwait, which was the main reason for the conflict. We moved in toward Baghdad, but not all the way to Baghdad. Staged there. When I first deployed, I was scared. And to be honest, anybody that tells you they're not scared to go to war, they're crazy. But it was a frightening experience. I come from a family that has a lot of members that have been in the military. My dad was in the Marine Corps in Vietnam. A couple of uncles of mine in Vietnam. Grandfather was in World War II. So got that time behind me, but walking into that experience, getting off that plane in the dark, it was scary. My buddies were the same way. I mean, they were, didn't have any combat experience, and they were worried too. We completed our mission and came back. I mean, we were deployed for roughly about 5 months. When I got back, I still had roughly about 3 years left in the military, so I didn't have to come back and start looking for a job. When I did get out, traveled around, tried a couple of different things, and then finally got to where I found something I like doing, and a good place for my kids to go to school and stuff. So that's pretty much it.